groups. Let's begin with the born Muslim communities. People who are coming from Muslim countries, as I said, first of all, sometimes people are not super clear about what is Islam and what is culture. So one of the issues that you might face in dialogue with people is that, and in the conversations, is a difference between boundaries or clarification of what is Islam and what is not. In this case, a good idea can be, for example, if you have a community, bring in a sheikh who knows what they're talking about and have a conversation about certain specific topics that are issues in the community so they can clarify and people can ask questions. Or you can quote, Quran or Hadith, or bring a lecture from a sheikh. I think this is far more useful nowadays because it's almost like in person a sheikh answer the question for you. It's very helpful because they can explain really well these important issues. So it can be useful. You can bring up the topic. You can say, hey guys, I actually learned in Islam this thing and how interesting. You don't have to be telling people off or telling people how to do things necessarily, because this is not something that very few people have the capacity to take unconstructive criticism and turn it into constructive criticism, because you will receive a message which feels really rude sometimes and like an attack, and you have to have the stubborn, the patience and the wisdom to take a step back, look at the information, assess your behavior based upon this information that you just received, understand where it is that you might have done something wrong or where you can improve at least, and then begin to work on that and implement that, and then have some sort of a diplomatic response to the message of the person to say, or even in person it's much harder because with the message you can stop and read and think. And if you are a person who easily gets angry when people are rude to you, then you have the time to basically to calm down and everything. If you're not the kind of person who is very good at that in person, then that's going to be a little tough for you. But it's very rare. I mean, I'm pretty sure that none of us wish to receive a comment from someone in a way that's rude or in a way that is really negative. I'd much rather someone come up to me personally, speak to me in private, because this is sunnah, by the way. Don't start correcting someone's behavior in front of the whole group and embarrass them. That's not the way in Islam. You pull them to the side, you might talk with them. A tip: if you are of the opposite gender, you can get a friend of yours or a kind of co-worker in the ummah to speak to the person instead of you. So for example, like if you're a brother and you see a sister and you wish to give them some advice, you may talk to another sister who works in the community, myself or any of our co-workers, and they may talk to the sister on your behalf because you reminded them, and so they can have the conversation. Or you can do the conversation in front of that sister, so three of you. Same works if you're a sister and trying to correct a brother. It can be helpful sometimes to involve a third party or getting another brother to speak to them. It's easier for many different reasons. It can be for personal reasons. We are unfortunately still a society where, for example, women are not always taken as seriously as men. This is not about being Muslim, this is a global issue. And also it can be sometimes difficult because of the Islamic values that we have. We want to keep a bit of a distance between the two genders. Like mixing of the genders has more specific rules and regulations and limits. So this can be a good way to set that limit, to implement that guidance. But certainly to come up to someone and say, I've noticed that you did this. I wonder why that is the case. Ask a question first. Maybe they can explain to you, maybe not, but you can ask the question, or you can say, as far as I know, or what I have learned in Islam is that such and such a thing is a better way to behave as a Muslim, or better thing to do in this situation.